Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. There we go. Alrighty, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over this pointer in C++. That said, last stream I did go over getters and setters in C++. This stream I'm going to be working on this pointer. I actually haven't time to work on it off stream. That aside, let me go to my main camera. Okay, perfect. Maybe actually string this a little. Open VS Code. Honestly, I did forget to open VS Code. There we go. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, and say something like, let's say, I'm live, exclamation. Okay, let's see. Okay, listen up, chat. Vivek, my pupil has entered the arena once again, the battlefield of logic and code. Bro, which song? Honestly, it's like a random song from YouTube Studio. That said, Vivek, my pupil has entered the arena once again, the battlefield of logic and code. Today, we confront one of the most misunderstood yet powerful weapons in C++. The this pointer, very soul of an object. The very soul of an object. Every object has an identity, a self dot. This is the self. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. This is the thread that binds the data to behavior. The reason of a class knows who it is. Without this object, would be soulless shells lost in the void of memory. Now, let's strip away the drama, only one for a moment, and understand it deeply. When you call a member function on an object, for example, robot.chargeBattery, behind the scenes, C++ secretly passes a hidden pointer that passes a hidden pointer to a function, a pointer to the objects that called it. Okay, behind the scenes, C++ secretly passes a hidden pointer to that function, a pointer to the object that called it. Oh, I see. Okay. That pointer is called this. Okay, void charge battery. This battery level is 100. Oh, I see. Okay, so like self.battery equals to 100. This battery 100. Okay, here this is literally the address of the object that invoked the function. It's of the type class name, a pointer to the class. Okay, why we need this? Let's say you have a constructor or setter like this: robot standard string name equals to name. Okay, this looks fine, right? Wrong. Both behaviors are names. So C++ assumes you're assigning the parameter to itself. The class variable remains untouched. To fix that, we use this name equals to name. Now this name means the object's name and the name parameter. Okay, and the name is the parameter. Boom, clarity, identity restored. How doing, Waynix? I appreciate you joining the stream. May I ask what's going on? Honestly, I am trying to master C++. That's it. Today I'm working on a topic from object-oriented programming. I'm working on this pointer in C++'s object-oriented section. That said, other users returning the current object enables method changing. Okay, we go robot with a address of operator or a ampersand. Set battery. Okay, we have a parameter of B. Okay, a double of B. And then this battery level equals to B. We return this. Okay, so a dereferencing operator of an asterisk. This. Now you can call robot.setBattery80.chargeBattery.report status. Oh, I see. Okay. Because each call returns the same object, accessing members can clearly. Okay, let me check if I'm audible. There we go. Okay, accessing members clearly when the code gets complex. This clarifies which member belongs to the object. Inside static functions, you cannot use this because static functions belong to the class itself, not any object. No object, no this. So in summary, this is a pointer to the object that can be called the function. It's automatically available in all non-static member functions. You use it when there's ambiguity, is that pronounced, or when you want to return the object itself. Now people, let's test how sharp your understanding truly is. Here's your first instructional based question. Okay, let's see. Oh, coding, I see. Okay, I appear to be stupid. What's going on? Honestly, I'm just like working on some basics. That said, what time is it for you now? Honestly, it is like 2 o'clock. Okay, that said, let me drink some water. Okay, and honestly, how do I like add the how do I write this? Let me go ahead and copy that. Okay, paste it here. And it punches paste and say something like, let's say, before I do the question, how to write this symbol question mark, or how do I type the symbol? Howdy, yes, Prada. Appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, good question. My young bite slayer. Okay, this is called the arrow operator. Okay, so how do we write the arrow operator? Normally, when you have an object, you use the dot operator. Okay, how do we get the arrow operator? Okay, honestly, let's read the instructional based question. Do you stream right after school or do you not have school? Honestly, I stream right after my college is over. That's it, 2 o'clock. That's 2 p.m. Honestly, yeah, it's 2 p.m. Okay, let's see. So, write a class called Warrior that has two private members called Name, okay, which is going to be a string, and Health, which is going to be an integer. Create a constructor that uses this to initialize both members, then create a function display that prints the warrior's name and health. Make sure to use the this this pointer. Okay, that's it. Let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Guys, I think the stream is lagging. Let me restart my OBS real quick. Already mic testing. Guys, my OBS actually crashed. Okay, nice, it's 3 a.m. here, so I can stay up for the night. You guys should actually make sure to get your 8 hours of sleep. Okay, that said, this is the code from the last stream. I didn't have time to work on it code off stream because I did have some college assignments. That said, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Okay, and then let's see next step what to do. Okay, let's read the instructions. Let me go all the way up. Okay, so where are the instructions at? Okay, it says write a class called Warrior. So I got to create a Warrior class. I refuse to sleep, guys. Sleep is very important. Howdy, Yosh, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a class called Warrior. Add a pair of curly braces, and then let's see. So create a class called Warrior that has two private members called Name, which is going to be a string, and a Health, which is going to be an integer. So let me go ahead and add private. And then create a few data members. The first data member is going to be a standard string of name ending with a semicolon. The second data member will be an integer of health ending with a semicolon as well. And then I got to create a constructor that uses this pointer to initialize both members. So let's go ahead and publicalize my whole class. So I'll go with public and then maybe add a comment that says constructor. There we go. Okay, for my constructor, I'm going to be first off calling my warrior class and then add a pair of parentheses and fill in a few parameters. So the first parameter that I would need is going to be a standard string of name. The second one is going to be an integer of health. Kyoshi, you're making a game. Honestly, I'm not working on my actual game right now, although that is my goal by the end of my programming for 258 series, where my goal is to make like a game in general, which consists of AI logic in it. That's it. I am learning the basics before I actually move on to making a game. Okay, and then inside of my constructor, can I just type this? How do you go with the arrow? Do I go with something like this? There. Oh, okay, that's how we actually write it. Okay, so this name is going to be equal to, let's say, my name parameter ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with something like this. Okay, this health is going to be equal to my health parameter as well. Actually, my health data member. Okay, this health data member is going to be equal to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. I think should do stream 2 for consistency. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Okay, let's see. Create a constructor this to initialize both members, then create a function called display that prints the warrior's name and health. Then create a display function. Okay, so I gotta create a display method. Let me go ahead and do that. Maybe I'll add a comment that says something like methods. Okay, for my methods, let me just fix my typo. There we go. For my methods, I'm going to be creating a void display method. So I'll go with void display, add a pair of parentheses. I don't think I'll need a parameter. That said, my display method is going to print both warrior's name and warrior's health. Maybe to get access to the name and health, I could type this and then a dereferencing operator of name. Maybe I add this in a standard console output. Okay, this doesn't work. I could go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. This could say something like, I don't know, maybe this, a dereferencing operator name, or maybe I add my dereferencing operator first. There we go. Okay, make a game engine. Honestly, I'm not that advanced to actually like work on a game engine. That's it. That does sound pretty fun. I should actually try that. Okay, with another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. And then let's go with my health. I'll go with a static console output with an insertion operator. I'll go with something like this. Okay, this health with another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. And then let me end my class with a semicolon as well. And go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses, then a pair of curly braces. Okay, can we name the warrior David? Okay, let's name the warrior David. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a few parameters here. So I could go with, honestly, instead of going with parameters, I could just create my classes. So I'll go with something like a warrior class, and then this is going to be a warrior 1 object. So my warrior class has a warrior 1 object with a pair of parentheses, and then I'll add in a few parameters. Let me just restart my OBS. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think it's still lagging. Give me a sec, guys. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect, guys. My OBS actually crashed. Do you know Hindi? Honestly, guys, I'm not that fluent with it. That said, see, make an OS. Actually, that does sound pretty fun to make an OS. But before that, let's go ahead and add a few parameters. The name is going to be David. It is lagging. Honestly, I'm actually working on getting an actual PC. I'm really close to getting that PC. I will be streaming myself or recording myself and then uploading it on how I build that PC. Okay, that said, my... there we go. So my warrior one's name is David. My warrior's health is 100, ending with a semicolon. Then let's go ahead and create another warrior. So this is going to be my warrior 2. Okay, warrior 2. With a pair of parentheses, my warrior 2 is going to be called Sarah. And let's say Sarah has 150 health, ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and add something like, let me change that to warrior 2. There we go. Okay, let's see. So let's say my warrior 1 dot display. I want to display my warrior 1 ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with my warrior 2 dot the display method as well. I want to display a warrior 2 ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0. Hit Ctrl S to save the code. And if I run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, what are you teaching, bro? Honestly, I'm not teaching anything. I'm actually just working on, the basics of C++. So it says David has 100 health, Sarah has 150 health. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the Control-C, get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift-Enter and say something like, let's say, I feel like I did something wrong in my main function, question mark. Actually, not main function. I did something wrong. Okay, where did I mess it up? I think I messed up in my display method. Something wrong in my display method, ... I didn't know how to use this pointer. Okay, let's see. Okay, you're from your age. Honestly, I am 17 years old. That said, I am actually going to turn 18 real soon. My birthday is January 5th. Kind of excited for that. Okay, people, hold your sword of code steady. You didn't mess up, but you overused your blade. This pointer isn't wrong in your display method. It's just unnecessary there. Let me explain clearly before I bonk you in the head with the syntax scroll again. Okay, this pointer is automatically passed to every non-static member function of a class. It holds the address of current object. You normally use it when you have a naming conflict between a member variable and a parameter of local variable. So we have a warrior with two parameters of name and health. This name equals name necessary because both have the same name. This health necessary because both have the same name as well. That said, you want to return the current object itself like in method chaining. Okay, so we go with a warrior health. So warrior, a ampersand operator or a address of operator. Okay, health. So this is still my constructor, right? I'm pretty sure this is my constructor. This health plus equals to amount. And then return this. Okay, returns the current object. But inside display, there's no conflict writing. Are exactly the same thing. You only need this when you make it clear. Okay, let me say something like, bro's favorite sentence is your Microsoft account is hacking. Okay, guys, let's be respectful. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, I actually feel like I didn't understand much, question mark. Okay, maybe can you explain it to me in detail? Honestly, I think I understood the basics of like the this pointer, but although it is a little whatchamacallit, I didn't understand on when to use this. Dagger, why are you being so mean? Honestly, guys, I do get that a lot. Okay, bro, are you going to become a scammer? Guys, I'm actually not a scammer. That said, good, you want depth. Let's peel the layer of this like a master slicing onions, but with less tears. Okay, guys, I think the stream is lagging again. Let me restart the stream real quick. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, let's see, where was I? Okay, good. But with less tears, I'll explain what this pointer does, what this pointer is, how it behaves, and how to use it, common pitfalls, and some advanced tricks you can show on your stream. I'll throw in some clean examples for you. What this is, the raw truth. This is a pointer that each non-static member function receives implicitly. It points to the object the member function was called on the object's own address inside the non-static member function of class C. Okay, you think this C, okay, dereferencing operator pointer to the object, why does exist in the function? Okay, hold up, I just want to see where to use it. So this is my constructor. I construct that. Without this, name equals to name. Okay, void display, go with name, go with health. Okay, inside member functions with no ambiguity, you can omit this. Okay, so there's no need to write it. It's the same using this, but here it's redundant. I see. Okay. Okay, this reference health. Okay, I think I see. Okay, honestly, let me say something like, oh my god, it's actually a long thing. Okay, let's say something like, just made a sandwich, gang. Honestly, I am kind of hungry. Let me say something like, let's say, I think I see. I might have understood it in theory, but I do need a lot of practice. So, can we do another instructional based question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, he's actually being a good guy. Okay, why are you calling his scammer? Let him study, dude. Guys, actually that just makes so much sense. I thought it was this dot variable, not this variable. Oh, I see. Honestly, in like Python, people actually go with self dot something. For example, self dot name equals to name. Those are called, I forgot what they called. So I think it's called I actually remember what it's called. So it's called instance variable. So self dot this equals, self dot a variable name equals to a parameter. That's like instance variables. I think it's the same logic, just with different syntaxes. Okay, let's see. Good, you're finally speaking like a student of a war. Theory without practice is like sword without an edge. Useless for battle. Alright, here's your first instructional based question on this pointer. Read carefully, don't rush it. I'll test your understanding of how you use this in a constructor and for method chaining. Okay, so instructional question number 1, we gotta create a class called Knight. Each Knight must have a name, which is going to be a string, a health, which is going to be a integer, and strength, which is going to be an integer as well. The requirements: use a constructor that uses this pointer to assign the values of parameters to the objects as member variables. Create a method called train that increases the knight's strength by a given amount. Use this to modify the value. Okay, make train, return the object itself, return asterisk this, okay, so that you can chain multiple trains calls. Okay, I think I see. Creates a method called display that prints knight's details, name, health, and strength. You don't need this here unless you want to demonstrate it clearly. Okay, expected example behaviors, knight 1. So I'm assuming this is our, our first object. Knight 1 dot train 10 dot train 15 display. Oh, I think I see. Okay, let's get Sensei's plus ChatGPT here. Don't demotivate someone, bro. He's putting a lot of effort to understanding C++. Honestly, guys, I feel like I don't get demotivated easily. That said, let's go with the controller and delete everything. Okay. Next up, let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's see. I gotta create a class called Knight. So let's go ahead and create a class called Knight. Add a pair of curly braces, and then inside of my Knights class, I gotta create 3 data members. I'm assuming they gotta be private data members. So let's go ahead and private this. There we go. Okay, so the first is going to be a name, so I'll go with something like a standard string of name ending with a semicolon. The next one is going to be health, so I'll go with something like integer of health. Okay, and honestly, I'll need an integer of health and strength. So instead of going with another integer of, strength, I'll just add them in one line, ending with a semicolon. I think I spelled it wrong. There we go. Okay, next up, the requirements. I gotta use a constructor that uses this pointer to assign values to the parameter of the objects as member variables. Okay, C-R-E-N-G-D-H. Okay, I think the strength spelling is correct. Next up, let's go ahead and publicalize my whole class. And maybe hydrate my lips, it's kind of dehydrated. It's a bad idea. Strength and health will be the same if you do it. Honestly, they won't be the same. I feel like, bro, toxin, nail polishes. Guys, I get that so much every stream. I'm like, I don't know what you guys mean. Okay, so honestly, I feel this is the exact same as if I go and type a integer strength. Like, I feel both of them would be the same thing. Okay, that said, let's see. For my public, I gotta create a constructor. So let's go ahead and add a comment that says constructor. Okay, there we go. So I create a comment of constructor that uses this pointer to assign values of the parameter to the objects as member variables. Okay, so let me start off by calling my Knight class, adding a pair of parentheses, and then adding a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be standard string of name, which is going to be which is going to be my name. The second is going to be for health, and the third is going to be an integer as well for my strength. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and add a pair of curly braces, and now initialize them. Hydrate yourself. Honestly, guys, I actually forgot to drink water. Not gonna lie, bro, use your proper accent. You're sounding so weird, but keep it up. Honestly, many people do say me that my accent sounds a little fake, but I'm like, it's almost impossible to fake an accent when you talk for hours. Okay, I just spilled some water. Guys, I should actually remember to drink more water because I usually forget drinking it. Okay, let's see. Okay, bro, drink some water or something. Very nice. For example, I can use a libgdx to make some code. Oh, I see. Okay, otherwise they would only be the same if you set them to something in one line. Otherwise, they're two different variables. I see. Okay, next up, let's go and initialize my variables. So I could do something like this. Let me go with something like this name equals to my name data member, and then let's go with something like this. Okay, this health equals to my health data member. Okay, ending with a semicolon, and lastly, I'll go with something like this. This strength equals to my strength data member. I'll set that equal to my strength data member, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Next up, let's see. Create a method called train. So now I gotta create a train method. Maybe I'll add another comment that says methods. There we go. Okay, so for my methods, maybe I fixed my typo. There we go. Okay, I gotta create a train method, so I'll go with something like a void train method, add a pair of parentheses. Okay, I don't think it's gonna have any parameters. So create a method called train that increases the knight's strength by a given amount. So I would need a parameter of amount. Let's go with something like an integer of amount. Where you from, bro? Wait, are you a bro? Honestly, yeah, guys, I am a bro. I'm a guy, guys. Many of you guys, almost every stream you'll like ask me, am I gay or not? Guys, I'm actually not gay. That says, hi. What game are you programming today? Honestly, I'm not programming a game. That said, I am working on the this pointer in C++. It is like a new topic. That said, let's go with a pair of curly braces. Then inside of my pair of curly braces, let's see. I gotta increase my knight's strength by a given amount. So I gotta increase my knight's strength data members. So I'll go with something like strength increases by my amount. Okay, let's go with something like strength plus equals to my amount ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let's see. Make sure train returns the object itself using the make sure. Use this properly to modify values. Okay, so I gotta use this. I think this makes sense. Make sure train returns the object. Since my train is expected to return something, I will change it to like a integer method instead of a void. Okay, return the object using return this so you can chain multiple train calls. Okay, so let's go ahead and return a dereferencing operator or a asterisk, and then let's say this, ending with a semicolon. Okay, your age, bro. Honestly, guys, I am 17 years old. That's it. I'm going to be turning 18 real soon. Bro's gay, guys. I'm not a gay. That said, why not just using namespace std so you don't have to type the std every time? Honestly, many of you guys do recommend that to me. Although the reason I don't using namespace std is because eventually in bigger projects, not using standard console output or prefixing with standard could cause name conflicts. Okay, he's using ChatGPT. Honestly, I am using ChatGPT for like learning. That said, when I return this, I don't think I should end it. Okay, I should end it with a semicolon. Why did I get like a red underline? Huh. Okay, what guide are you following? I like to learn on my own pace. Honestly, you guys could like join my Discord server, then like mention me there on the C++ chat to ask the roadmap for C++, so that I could DM it to you guys. Okay, next up, let's see. That could chain multiple trains. Make sure my train method returns something. Okay, let me return just this. Okay, honestly, let's go with an asterisk. Let me go with the control C, copy that. Do you know anything other than C++? Honestly, I have learned like Python. That said, honestly, guys, I don't know much Tamil as well. Okay, I've honestly never been to like India, although I am pretty excited to like visit there someday. I might stream myself. Okay, let's say something like, let's say, I feel like I messed up, question mark. How do I return a dereferencing operator this? It shows me a red underline. Okay, let's see. Obviously, he's using ChatGPT. Are you new to his channel? He's learning using it. Appreciate him instead of insulting. Honestly, guys, that does make sense. Okay, good job learning. This keyword works. This is why I recommend C instead of C++ first. Oh, I see. Okay, he's obviously like British, guys. I've honestly never thought of that. Okay, let's see. Let me just remove those. Okay, people, you tried to lift a great axe with one hand. Okay, your logic was sharp, but your return type wasn't strong enough to hold what you tried to return. Let me slice through this issue cleanly. We go with train integer. That means your method promises to return an integer, but when you do asterisk this, it's the object itself, not an integer. That's why the compiler growled at you. It seems you're trying to return a whole night when you said you return a mere number. The fix, conceptually, you must return the current object by referencing, so the correct object function signature should be night asterisk. Okay, with night a address of operator. Okay, night means reference to the current object. Okay, I think I see. I go with night. Where does the night even go? Night means that return this gives you the actual object that calls the function, not a copy. This allows chaining like Okay, do you understand why we return night asterisk? Okay, let me say something like do you want his personal home address or something? Guys, actually didn't read the chat. Okay, let's say something like, let's say I feel like I didn't understand where to use the address of operator or ampersand. Should I use it in my constructor, question mark? Huh. Okay, I went to your GitHub. You haven't committed much. Commit these DSA lines up to yours. Honestly, yeah, I did create a GitHub, although I didn't learn how to use it. I should actually learn. Honestly, I don't have like enough time because like after I'm done streaming, I do like work on my college stuff because I just like wrote an exam and came. It's a little busy. Although once my college is over, that's when I might have more time for this. That said, no, people, stop confusing your hands of the wrong weapon. Okay, you've mastered swinging it. The ampersand or the address of operator here is not for the constructor. It's for the methods that returns the current object itself. Like when you want to chain actions, it tells C++ I'm returning a reference to this object, not a copy. Think of it like this: without the address of operator, return this makes a copy of the object. Comprise or copies are heavy, slow, and sometimes dangerous if you modify them. With the address of operator, you return a reference to the same object in memory so you can keep working on it directly. Your constructor does not need a ampersand because it doesn't return anything, it just builds an object. Okay, I think I see that's my constructor. And then in your train method, oh, okay, so I gotta add my knight class and then my train method. So does my knight class work as a data type? Okay, let me just ask that last question. Let me say something like, so let's say I have a last question. Does the okay, does the knight with the address of operator is considered a data type question mark? I think that would make sense. Okay, makes sense. Japan, this kid is learning to code, not copy paste codes brainlessly like most coders. Oh, I see. That actually makes more sense. Okay, yo, you start your stream every day at the same time. Honestly, yeah, it depends. Like sometimes I start really soon, sometimes I start like a little later. Depends when I like come from college or I'm done with my work. Although I do mention everyone as soon as I start the stream on my Discord server. Okay, let's see. Yes, people, listen carefully. Knight is a data type, but it's a reference type, not a regular copy. Oh, okay. Break. Knight normal object will return knight from a function. It makes a new copy. Knight with a reference of operator to knight. No new copy. You're pointing to the same object in the memory. Think of it like this. Knight is a full sword. Knight with the ampersand operator is like grabbing the sword that already exists in someone else's hands. You don't make a new sword. You just hold the same one. That's why in method chaining, we always use knight with a reference of operator, so we keep swinging the sword instead of forging a new one. Oh, I see. Okay, if you want, we can do a practice chaining drill right now. Honestly, no, I can like work on the old question. Okay, let me scroll all the way up. That said, I think I got it. He's zesty, guys. I don't know. I'm actually not zesty. I mean, I do get that a lot, though. I'm like, guys, I'm actually not acting zesty. Okay, that said, instead of going with a integer, I'll go with my knight class's data type with a reference of operator. There we go. Now this operator, it's what you call it. It points towards my specific object that is using this method, if that made any sense. Okay, nice English speaking skills though. Most people fumble here quick. Honestly, I appreciate you. Tana, is that how I pronounce your name, guys? I think I'm bad at pronunciations. Okay, that said, let's see, Vivek, you gotta understand people calling you gay don't really think you're gay, they're bullies. Honestly, yeah, I mean, that does make sense. Okay, that said, let's see. Inside my train function, I returned this so that you can chain multiple train calls. And then I gotta create a method called display that prints the knight's details, name, health, and strength. Okay, so let's go ahead and create another method called display. This is going to be a void method because I won't be returning anything. So I'll go with a void display method. There we go. Okay, thank you. Will block these damn people, like seriously. Honestly, guys, I don't like prefer blocking them, although I do like how to ignore them. Okay, that said, my display method won't be having any parameters, although I will go with the pair of curly braces. So you could have used using namespace and then you wouldn't have to use std anymore. Honestly, many people did say did like recommend me to use using namespace std, although some of you guys did say me not prefixing with like standard in like bigger projects could cause name conflict. So it's a good practice to write using names. I mean, it's actually a good practice to prefix std. Okay, let's see. So I gotta display my knight's name, health, and strength. So I could go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, this kid could be their Thanos of scamming. Thankfully, he uses powers of good. Honestly, guys, I feel I'm kind of bad with jokes. It's more readable to him with namespace std, then it doesn't matter. Oh, I see. Okay, so I could go with a standard console output and type something like name. Okay. Honestly, I could go with my name parameter, or maybe I'll go with something like name. There we go. With another insertion operator of my name data member, with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. That said, let's go with another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be my health. So I'll go with something like health with another insertion operator of my health data member with a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. And lastly, let's go ahead and add another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be the strength, so I'll go with, there we go, there we go. Okay, strength with another insertion operator of my strength data member. There we go, strength data member with another insertion operator of a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, why are you acting gay? Honestly, guys, I'm not acting gay. I get that actually so much. Okay, well, sure, if you want to learn like this, yeah, don't block them, make them act and look more stupid. That does make sense, guys. Okay, that said, let's see. So I did create a display, whatchamacallit, method. Okay, that's it. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much it for my Knight class. Okay, next up, I gotta create a main function. So let's go ahead and create a main function. I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my main function, I'm going to be creating a few objects. So the first object is going to be from my Knight class. This object is going to be called Knight1. There we go. With a pair of parentheses, now I'll need 3 parameters. What are the parameters? I'll need a name parameter, a health parameter, and a strength parameter. My name could be something like Sarah, health could be something like 100, and then strength could be something like 50, ending with a semicolon. And then I could go with another object. This is going to be of my Knight class as well. This is going to be Knight2 with a pair of parentheses. My second Knight is going to be called David. Okay, David has, let's say, 250 health and maybe, I don't know, 30 attack power, ending with a semicolon. Okay, let me go with something like Knight1 dot the, let's see. Okay, so I'll go with Knight1 dot the train method. I want to train my Knight1 to be of something like 20. Okay, and then could I go with another train? Is that how it works? I'll go with something like 15, ending with a semicolon. And then let's go with something like Knight1 dot display. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. And honestly, let me go ahead and print a display before and after. There we go. Okay, let me go with the Control Z. Okay, perfect. How are you doing, Wasan? Is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. It's bad if you do it in a header file. Honestly, see. Okay, let's go ahead and Control S to save the code if I would run the command. Actually, you sound like that vegan gay bro who hates meats. Honestly, guys, I actually do love eating meats. Actually, I mean, I do like whatchamacallit, taking some, like, eating some proteins and everything, if that made any sense, guys. Okay, it does work. So 20, 50, 60, 70, and then 15, 85. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the Control C, copy that. No, it's not a game he's learning this pointer. Honestly, that does make sense. Okay, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT. What's going on? Honestly, I am like, whatchamacallit, I'm actually learning the basics of C++. That's it. Today I'm working on object-oriented programming and a topic inside it called the this pointers. Okay, yes, pupil. Finally, you're getting it. Look at this. Your method chaining works perfectly because you return asterisk this as Knight, okay, with a referensive operator that keeps the same object alive when you keep calling train. Okay, your output will be Sarah, health 100, strength 50, name Sarah, health 8, strength 100, and actually health 100 and strength 85. See this? Strength went from 50 to 70 to 85. No new object was made, just one sword. Your Knight getting stronger every swing. Don't get cozy though. You must always remember, if you return just Knight without a referensive operator, every train would call a new copy and your chaining would be useless. It's a trap for beginners to fall into. Honestly, that does actually make sense now. Okay, we can do a next level challenge drill with multiple Knights interacting. If you feel the power of this fully, want to go for it. Okay, let's say something like you should say. Okay, let's see. Have fun practicing. I appreciate you. Is your name pronounced as we? Because I think it is like an ASCII. Okay, you like pizza with pineapples? Honestly, guys, I don't prefer pizzas in general. That said, I just prefer eating the food that I make at home. Okay, you should prefix your member variables with M underscore. Oh wait, does that make sense? I should actually ask that. Okay, what gadget is this? Honestly, okay, bro, why are you speaking like that? Guys, so many people ask me if I'm gay. I'm actually not gay, guys. I should write it somewhere. That said, our pupils, listen up. This next drill is where you turn Okay, this next drill is where we turn you into a training master. Here's the scenario. You have two knights. They're going to train. Okay, they're going to train and fight each other to catch. You have to use method chaining, okay, with this to train knights multiple times in one line, reduce the other knights' health in the same line, display stats all in one chain. Yes, it's possible if you return this correctly. Your task: create a method called fight knight. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, can the instructional based question be from scratch question mark, because I deleted my old code. Okay, let's see if please don't respond to the gay shit or where are you from questions. One more time, your ears will bleed. Our ears will bleed. We can close the comments, but you literally read out every single comment. Honestly, it does make sense. I want to get into programming. Any advice? Honestly, I'd say the biggest advice would be to like be consistent and like come every day. Even though something is tough, as long as you like work on it every day, it eventually gets easier. Okay, just make a project. You have a passion for it. For me, it was Minecraft plugins in the beginning. That actually sounds pretty cool. I actually might try doing some mini projects soon. Okay, of course, people, let's start fresh. No excuses. We're building a knight battle and training system from scratch. Here's the instructional step-by-step. Create a class called knight with a parameter, actually with 3 data members. The first is a string, the second is integer of health, third is integer of strength. Construct to initialize all 3 attributes. Okay, method called train. So we got to create a method called train that has a parameter of amount that increases strength by amount, returns the dereferencing operator of this for chaining. I think, okay, I see. And then we got to create another method called fights that has, that has a knight enemy. Honestly, shouldn't this have been target? I'm pretty sure this should have been target. Okay, let's see, how do we ignore if you read each and every comment? Honestly, I'd like say to like maybe mute. I don't know, guys. I'll try not reading them though. Okay, decrease enemy health by damage. Reduce this for chaining. Method display that prints name, health, and strength in main function. Create 2 knights, chain, training, and fighting together. Okay, display stats after chain. The goal, make method chaining work flawlessly. If you mess this up, I'll roast you. Okay, let's get some /ChatGPT here. That said, let me go all the way up to the first instruction. There we go. Okay, let's start off by hitting Control-A, Control-C, deleting everything. In this live, you literally said you're not gay like 150 times. How do we ignore it? Guys, that does make sense. I should stop saying it. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's go ahead and read the instructions. So it says create a class called knight. So let me go ahead and create a class called knights. There we go. And then add a pair of parentheses. Inside my pair of parentheses, I will be creating 3 private data members. So I could go with something like private, add a colon. The first data member is going to be a standard string of name ending with a semicolon. The second and third are going to be integers, so I'll go with something like integer of health and integer of strength, ending with a semicolon as well. Okay, and then next up, construct to initialize all these attributes. I gotta create a constructor. Although before I create a constructor, let's go ahead and publicize my whole class and then do something like invoke my knight class, add a pair of parentheses, and then a few parameters for my constructor. So I'll go with standard, let's say standard string of name. The second parameter will be a integer of health. And lastly, I'll need an integer of strength. There we go. And then let's go ahead and add a pair of curly braces and then initialize my parameters. So I could go with something like this, a hyphen and a less than sign, which is like an arrow mark basically. This name equals to my name data member ending with a semicolon, and then something like this health equals to my health data member ending with a semicolon as well. And lastly, let's go with something like this strength equals to my strength data member as well, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much it for my constructor. Next up, I gotta create a method train. with a parameter of integer, which is going to be amount. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a method. Honestly, I might actually specify that this is a constructor. There we go. And then let's go ahead and add one for methods as well. We comment. There we go. Okay, for my methods, but private and public, one indentation to the left. Honestly, I mean, yeah, honestly, I think it's the same thing though. Okay, I think this is like more readable because like that's private, this is public. Okay, where you from, dude? Every time I open shorts, I see you streaming. Damn. Okay, let's see. Okay, next up I go with methods. For my methods, I need a train method. Let's go ahead and create a integer of train method with a pair of parentheses, and then inside my train method, I'll have a parameter of amount. Then go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, it's pre-recorded, guys. I'm reading the chats live. It's actually not pre-recorded. Okay, you can use member initialization like knight integer underscore health underscore health. Honestly, I've never learned all that, but I actually might work on that. I'll like look into that. That said, method train integer amount that increases strength by amount. So I could go with something like strength. Okay. Huh. Okay, I'm pretty sure I could go with my whatchamacallit, my strength data member. Let's go ahead and increase that by my amount, ending with a semicolon. And then let's see. I gotta return this. So instead of going with integer, let me go ahead and convert this to be a my knight class with the address of operator. So this points to the specific object that I'm like working with. Okay, just as ChatGPT, for example, just say member initialization list. Honestly, I might have that in my roadmap. I might go on that. Okay, what are you coding? Honestly, I'm working on the this pointer in C++. This is like a topic under my object-oriented programming C++ area, if that made any sense, guys. Okay, let me go ahead and return the referencing operator of this, ending with a semicolon. Okay, this is for chaining. Maybe I had another comment that says for chaining. There we go, because it is like a pretty good habit to add comments. That said, let's go ahead and create another method called fight that has a parameter of enemy and a integer of damage. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a void method called fight that has a parameter of knight. So this is going to be my knight class. And then a reference of operator. Okay, of enemy. Honestly, instead of going with enemy, can I go with target? Is it the same thing? I think it is the same thing. Okay, and then another parameter of damage. Okay, so zesty, guys. I'm actually not zesty. It does so much. How old are you? Honestly, I am 17 years old, but I am going to turn 18 soon. My birthday is pretty close. That's it. I'll go with the pair of curly braces. And then inside of my method, let's see what it says. Decrease enemy dot health by damage. So let's go with something like my target dot health. I want to decrease it by my damage. This is my health data member. Let's decrease it by my damage. Okay, ending with a semicolon. And honestly, let's go ahead and remove the invoke because it's not a function. There we go. Okay, you need to go to a shower. Go to a shower. Honestly, guys, I should actually, because today I woke up real early because I had an exam. I wrote my exam and I just came, so I actually forgot to take a shower today. That said, look, 16 to 24 called it. I see. What is bro making? Honestly, I'm learning the basics on how we use this pointer in C++. Okay, I'm not like working on a specific project. It is like a pretty like, whatchamacallit, specific live stream on just mastering one content. Okay, that said, I returned this for chaining. Okay, so I gotta return this as well. So let's go ahead and call my knight class with a ampersand operator. Then let's go ahead and return. I want to return a dereferencing operator or an asterisk of this, ending with a semicolon. Okay, 16 to 24 is an 8-year range. 8-year range? Honestly, I never heard of that. Respect young genius. I appreciate you, Alan. Ignore them. How did your test go or something? On or something go Monday, I think. Honestly, my test did go pretty good, guys. That said, let's see. Okay, then I gotta create another method called display. So let's go ahead and create a void method called display. Okay, and then add a pair of parentheses. And then a pair of curly braces. Have you tried the Go programming language? Honestly, I've like never heard of the Go programming language. Is it like Golang or something? Because I've heard of Golang. Okay, not trying to be mean or anything, but why is bro so zesty? Guys, you guys can scroll up the chat. I've got that like, whatchamacallit, more than like 80 times or something. I'm like, guys, I'm not gay, I'm actually straight. Okay, that's a display main function. In my main function, I print my name, my health, and my strength. So let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, go needs to be renamed. Stop. Oh, I see. Yo, how are you doing, Mochi Mochi? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, so I go with a standard console output. This is going to be my name. I'll go with an insertion operator of my name data type with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, let's go ahead and create a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be, let's see, this is going to be my health. And then I'll add another insertion operator of my health data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Yeah, it's Golang lol. It's just called Go programming language, but it's pretty simple language. One of my favorites. Oh, I see. That actually sounds pretty fun. I use Rust, by the way. I actually want to start Rust like soon. Maybe after my programming for 250 series. Because I did hear Rust is a pretty good programming language for like whatchamacallit, for like AIs. Because I was confused. I either wanted to be a cybersecurity or an AI engineer. Okay, so I might actually actually learn both of them and then see which I enjoy the most and then stick with that. There we go. Okay, so my strength with an insertion operator of my strength data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, never mind, calls you gay though, just okay, never mind, calls you gay though, just Dusty. Oh, I see. I promise if you reach day 50, I'll give you a donation. Honestly, that does sound pretty generous. I do appreciate you, Alum. Okay, let's see. And then I gotta create a main function. So let's go ahead and delete that. And start off by creating a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my main function, let's go ahead and create two Knight objects. See, Python is more used for AI and machine learning. Rust is more lower level. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on, good. You don't have to be gay. It's enough that I am. Guys, I'm not gay. C++ is good to learn fundamentals of programming and computer architecture. No, don't try to learn both. Be an expert in one. Nothing wrong with awareness of others. So honestly, I do want to be aware of both languages, and then I am. That's the reason I'm exploring different programming languages to see which I enjoy the most. Once I enjoy a language most, I am going to be sticking with that. That said, I got to create two knights. So let's go ahead and create a knight object. This is going to be called knight1. Maybe I'll lowercase this. Knight1 with a pair of parentheses, and then let's see. Let's add a few parameters. The first parameter will be a standard string of, let's say, name. Okay. Honestly, I could just go with name. Although, let's see, I could create a name. Okay, let's go with something like Sarah. And then I'll need a health. Health is going to be 100. And then I'll need a attack power. My attack power will be 35, ending with a semicolon. My brain is melting. Guys, I can actually feel you guys. Like, it's actually kind of hot here. Like, I am kind of stuffy. Like, the headphones just makes my head even hotter. Okay, so I'll go with something like knight 2, add a pair of parentheses, and say something like my second knight is called Tom, and Tom has, I don't know, maybe 50 health, and like, let's say 78 attack power, ending with a semicolon. Okay, chain train and fight together like knight1.train.train.fight. Okay, display stats after chaining. So let's go ahead and display stats before chaining first. I could go with something like a standard console output. This channel live is pretty good for coders of all sorts. Honestly, I do appreciate you, Busy. Okay, so I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like stats before training or fighting. So there we go, stats before training or fighting. And then I'll go with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and display my stats. So I could go with something like, let me just restart my stream real quick, guys. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. This is confusing. Never mind. Should have joined halfway in. Honestly, guys, I do have a whole playlist filled with like C++ streams. That said, I did want to stream horizontally as well, but my mini PC isn't that strong enough. That said, I am getting an actual PC. Once I do get that, I will be multi-streaming on like Twitch, Kick, YouTube, maybe Instagram and TikTok as well if I met the the followers requirement, and also vertically and horizontally. Although that is once I get my PC, because I'm really close to getting it. It's really good to be learning, but nothing is worth learning, worth ruining your sleep cycle for it. Okay, it messes you up as you grow, learning that the hard way. I'm in CS2, so trust me. Honestly, that does make sense. I actually do get 8 hours like every single day. Okay, let's see. So let's go with something like my knight 1 dot the train method. I want to train my knight for, I don't know, maybe 20, and then I'll go with train again. I want to train my knight for 15, and then let's go ahead and invoke my fight method. I want to fight with my knight 2, ending with a semicolon. Honestly, with some damage. I'll need something like 20 damage, ending with a semicolon. Okay, so when I type knight 2 here, does it make a difference if I, change this to be enemy instead of, target? Okay, let's go with enemy. That works. Okay, I can't use my knight 2, so I gotta ask that one question. Okay, let's go ahead and add another function. So I'll go with something like knight 1. Okay, maybe I'll go with the control Z. Okay, that's going to be knight 1 dot... Excuse me, guys. Okay, I think I spelled knight wrong here. Okay, I mean, that's fine. So I'll go with knight 1 dot display, add a pair of parentheses, ending with a semicolon. Knight 1 misspelled. Okay, let me actually fix it. There we go. Knight 1 and knight 2. Okay, perfect. Knight 1 and knight 2. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and change this to knight 1 and change that to knight 1 as well. There we go. Okay, knight 1 dot display, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy that, paste it. Oh, no wonder this wasn't working because I spelled it wrong. Okay, hold up. In that case, let me just cancel that. Okay, oh, in that case, guys, can I change this back to a target? Okay, let's change that to target and change that to target as well. Will it still work? Press F2 to rename and change. Oh, okay, that actually is pretty useful. Okay, after training or fighting. There we go. Okay, and lastly, let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. Alright, perfect. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so it says stats before battle, name Sarah, health. Okay, honestly, I didn't add my stats after battle, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll go with something like knight 1 dot the display method, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the command and run the code, let's see what happens. Okay, SQL64, you're a legend. Okay, yeah, try F2 on your knight to change the name everywhere. That would actually be real helpful. Okay, let's see. Name Sarah, health 70, strength 70 as well. Honestly, didn't I change my health? Okay, strength increases. Okay, so honestly, for my train method, I increase my strength by my amount. Okay, I most likely didn't add a amount. I did add a amount. Okay, and then I return this. I go with knight fight target dot health minus damage. Stats after. This is going to be knight 1 dot display. That's going to be named. Should I go with something like this name? Because I'm pretty sure that does change. Okay, let's go with the Control A, Control C, copy that, get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say, I feel like I messed up, question mark. Guys, I honestly feel like I messed up. Okay, oh the people, I see exactly where you blew it. Look at your fight method, target or health. Do you see the problem? That line does absolutely nothing. You just wrote an expression that subtracts damage from target.health, but it never stores the result back. C++ doesn't magically update it for you. Okay, I should go with like a minus equals using an augmented assignment operator. I did that last stream, but apparently that didn't work last stream. Could it be because my health is already pre-decided? Oh, I think it's okay. I think last stream it didn't work because I went like I needed user input for like my data members. Here I have them preset. Okay, let's hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay, I probably highlighted something. There. Okay, now if I were to run the code. Okay, it's going to say stats before battle, stats after battle. Okay, it still gives the same output. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT back here. Let's read the whole thing. Okay, also look at your main, your display knight. You display knight 1 twice, but never display knight 2 after fight. Oh, I'm changing knight 2. I'm glad you escaped the recursion section. Honestly, guys, recursion was a bit hard, but then whatchamacallit, I had 3 whole streams for that, so I think I got a pretty good grasp of it. Okay, that said, okay, guys, I feel like I'm kind of stupid. What you mean? I mean, let's go with knight 1 and knight 2 dot display. There we go. I forgot to display knight 2. No wonder it wasn't showing knight 2. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that and paste it here as well. So let's go ahead and display knight 2 as well. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command one more time. Okay, it says these are the stats for knight 1, knight 2. Okay, knight 2's does increase, and then knight 2's health is 30. Name Tom, health 30. Name Tom, health 30. Is it the same thing? Maybe I go with like a / new line and then a / new line again, so I can like see them clearly. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and Control S to save the code again and run the command. Okay, so it says name Sarah, health 100. Okay, I think it's the same thing. Okay, let's go with a bunch of Control Z's. There we go. Okay, let me go with the Control C, copy that, get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, let's maybe extend that a little. Okay, and then paste it, go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say, I feel like I messed up again, question mark. Honestly, I don't think... Okay, people, this time you're much closer, but I see a little logic chaos. Look at your main output here. You display both knights before even saying stats after training or fights. That's confusing. The first display block is basically the middle of your action. Oh, okay. So okay, guys, that's actually kind of stupid. I should get my my updates before. Okay, let's see. Hey dude, what are you making? Honestly, I'm learning the basics of C++ object-oriented programming. That's it. This stream, I am focusing more on this pointer and in C++. Like basically these. Okay, guys, if I couldn't phrase that properly, I don't know, but I don't know why, but that looks awful easy to code. Okay, but looks, I'll cry trying to do it. Guys, honestly, it is actually pretty easy. You guys should actually just get the hang of actually the syntaxes. I did have like, I think about 10 or 15 streams where I was just mastering raw syntaxes. Okay, that's it. Stats before training, health 100, strength 35, health 50, strength 78, health 100, strength 70. Okay, the strength did increase. Sarah's strength increased. And Tom's HP decreased. Okay, perfect. Okay, Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Then let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say Sensei. I see ... It was actually a pretty silly mistake. My bad ... Although, can I get another instructional based question mark? Although, I mean, guys, because I do need more practical concept. I do understand it in theory and maybe even in like physical, but if I get more practice that builds muscle memory, that made any sense. Yeah, let me just hydrate my lips. Okay, that's the spirit pupil, but now you're starting to command the chaos of this pointer chaining. Alright, let's level up. Okay, listen carefully. This one's trickier but fun. Guys, I don't know what's wrong, can't read properly. Instructional based question, create a class called wizard. Here's what it should look like. So we have a private attributes are these data members. Our name data member is a string, our mana data member is an integer, and our spell power data member is an integer as well. Then I create a constructor that takes all 3 parameters and initialize the attributes using the this pointer. Okay, and then methods. So we have a cast spell method, okay, which has a parameter of wizard, okay, target, integer damage, okay. okay, which has access to a class inside my parameter, okay, and then I reduce my target.mana by my damage parameter, okay, and then I return the dereferencing operator of this so we can chain it as well, and then we meditate. So we have another method called meditate that increases our own mana by our amount data member, and then we return a dereferencing operator of the this pointer. And then lastly, we have a display method that prints the wizard's name, mana, and spell power. Then we create a main function, we create two wizard objects, show stats before any action, make the first wizard meditate twice and then cast a spell on the second wizard using chaining, and then show stats after both wizards. Okay, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. 5. Okay, let's go with the controller, delete everything. That said, ask member initializer. Honestly, I think I do have like a specific, topic in my roadmap that covers member initializers. So I think I might actually have a separate stream for that. Okay, that said, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of, maybe let me fix my include spelling. There we go. There we go. So I include IO stream. And then next up, let's read the instructions. So it says create a class called wizard. So let's go ahead and create a wizard class. There we go. And then I'll add a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces. Inside of my wizard class, I gotta create a few private attributes. So let's go with something like private, colon, and maybe indent everything under my private. Okay, maybe I fix my typo. There we go. Okay, honestly, is the spell correct? Oh, I should remove that. There we go. Okay, inside of my private, I'm going to be adding 3 data members. The first is going to be a standard string of name ending with a semicolon, and next up it's going to be a integer of mana and spell power. So I'll go with integer of mana and spell power. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Okay, whatchamacallit, counter 6. Counter 6. Okay, maybe it looks confusing because it's like C++ and I only know Python. Honestly, I'd say like Python is a pretty good language to start off with, because once you actually have a good foundation of the basics, then I feel C++ is honestly not that hard, because like ever since I started C++, the only thing that was kind of hard was the recursion part and the basic syntax mastering. Once I actually got the hang of the syntaxes, it was honestly I feel like the logic was almost similar to Python's logic, just with a few tweaks. That said, I gotta create a constructor now, so let's go ahead and add a comment that says something like constructor. There we go. Okay, for my constructor, I gotta, let's see, I gotta go ahead and call my wizard class. Okay, whatchamacallit, counter 7. Huh, counter 7. Oh, I see, guys, you got, okay, that's like a counter, how many times did I say it? Okay, so let's go with a wizard with a pair of parentheses, and then inside the pair of parentheses, let's go ahead and add a few, let's go ahead and add a few parameters. So this is going to be a name parameter, and then an integer of mana parameter. Lastly, a integer of spell power, actually a spell power parameter as well. Okay, and then a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces. Python or Node, question mark best. Honestly, is like Node a programming language? Because I honestly haven't tried that. That said, I would recommend starting with Python because I did start with it. Although you guys could like fact check me. Syntax substatistics, that I pronounce it, can be confusing between languages. I bought a Python book a few days ago, and it's variable scooping from local to global. Okay, it's just stupid idea to me. Oh, I see. Python or Node the best? Honestly, whatchamacallit, I'd say that I'd recommend Python because like that's where I started, although you guys could like research and see which you guys prefer the most. Whatchamacallit, counter 8. How are you switching lines? Like first in class wizard, the second is private, and like switched on what line are you writing? Honestly, how are you like switching lines? Like first line is class, second line is private. Honestly, do you mean like indenting? For example, like doing this, if I have like like labs, I indent. Do you mean indentation? Okay, let's see. Okay, and second line is private, and like you switched on what line you're writing. Yeah, I like hit enter to like go in lines lower, and then I hit tab to indent, if that made any sense, guys. Okay, next up, for my wizard class, let's go ahead and initialize them. So I could do something like this, and then a, I think this was called a arrow operator. Was it called an arrow operator? Okay, this name is equal to name. Yeah, this. Oh, I see. Okay, this name is going to be equal to my name parameter, and then something like this. Let's say this mana data member is going to be equal to my mana parameter ending with a semicolon as well. And lastly, this, let's say this spell power. Okay, I think Daniel, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, this spell power is going to be equal to my spell power parameter as well, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Let's see next up. The constructor takes all three parameters and initializes the attributes using the this pointer. Okay, did that. Then next up for methods. Let's go ahead and create a few methods now. So I'll go with a comment that says something like methods. For my methods, I gotta go ahead and create a cast spell method, okay, which has a parameter of my wizard's object by its reference, okay, that is called target. The second one is going to be damage. So let's go ahead and create. Honestly, since I am going to be returning this, this is going to be, let's say, my wizard class, and then a reference of, actually, a address of operator, and then my method name. My method name is going to be called cast spell. There we go. Okay, it's not a void function because I do got to return something. In the other hand, it's not any other data type because I do want a specific, whatchamacallit, I want to only, whatchamacallit, apply this on the, let's see, on the object of my wizard class. Okay, I don't think I ever used this. Guys, give me a sec. Let me actually restart OBS. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect, guys. My OBS, I actually had to restart it. I don't think I ever used the this pointer. Honestly, basically what the this pointer does is, let's see if I'm still lagging. Okay, I think it's good. So basically, if you like learn Python, the this pointer is exactly the same as the self. For example, self.name equals to name is basically the same. These are called, whatchamacallit, I forgot what these called. Then I think these are called like instance variables. There we go. Okay, so in Python, this is basically an instance variable for a class. This works exactly like self dot. So like this name equals to my name parameter. Although if we don't want to use this, we could like use something like, we could just change this to be something like enemy and then just write something like my name data member equals to my enemy parameter. If that made any sense, guys. Although if you guys do want to use the same name as a data member to avoid name conflict, we like use this. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this. Good going, keep it up, buddy. I appreciate you, Garv. You do you only code in C++? Honestly, no, I do have like I think about 100 lives on Python. Like I had a Python for 100 series, and then whatchamacallit, I did like stream myself from I think about day 40 or something. I don't remember properly, but like that is the first stream in my channel. Okay, what are languages do you code in? Honestly, I code in Python and like C++ now. That said, bro, say for me, call the support, please. Huh? Say for me, call the support, please. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. And inside of my pair of curly braces, so I have a wizard cast spell. I need a few parameters. The first parameter is going to be of my wizard class. So let's go with something like a wizard class with a address of operator of target. This is going to be exactly to which object I'm pointing. Then I'll go with a damage parameter as well. Okay, now inside of my wizard class, did you program in the red thing on your right? Like I mean the stream goal 95? Honestly, you know, I did like buy that. That was like a whole package deal which comes like with the overlays and everything. Okay, that said, I use member initializer. Oh, honestly, the whatchamacallit, the stream goal stuff, like the outlet is only whatchamacallit, I bought that when it changes, like when the stream goal changes when someone subscribes, that is like from a different website. I think like you guys heard like of separate different websites and everything. Guys, I for some reason can't even whatchamacallit phrase stuff properly. I used a member initializer list 99% of the time. Oh, I see. Okay, that'll be like an OBS plugin maybe. Honestly, yeah, it is an OBS plugin. Okay, let's see. Reduce target dot mana by damage. So I gotta go with something like my target dot mana. I'm gonna subtract it by my damage parameter, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then I gotta return a dereferencing operator of my this, so I'm able to change stuff. So let's go ahead and return a dereferencing operator of this ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Next up, I gotta create another method. This time the method is going to be a meditate method, and this is going to be from my wizard class as well. The data member or the data type is going to be my wizard class, and then meditate. There we go. I'll add a pair of parentheses and then fill in a few parameters. So the first is going to be, honestly, I'll just need a parameter of amount, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Then let's see, I gotta increase my own mana by my amount. So let's go with something like my mana data member plus equals to my amount parameter ending with a semicolon. Am I crazy that I want to learn these languages? Honestly, that's actually pretty cool. Like, I don't recommend people to actually like at least explore different programming languages. Not like work on mastering everything. I mean, you guys could if you have like a lot of time and like you guys are actually pretty good with programming. That said, I would prefer to like at least have a brief idea on like different languages, and then if you guys prefer a specific language, to stick on that language. That's what I'm actually trying. Okay, that said, let me next up return a dereferencing operator of this ending with a semicolon. Then maybe drink some water because I am kind of dehydrated. Okay, no, not crazy. There are still lots of opportunities out there. Honestly, that does make sense. Okay, that said, let's see. Lastly, I gotta create a display method. So let's go ahead and create a void display method. My display method won't be having any parameters and it won't be having a data type as well because I am, just going to be adding standard console outputs in here. Okay, so that prints the wizard's name, mana, and spell power. So I could go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like name. Okay, my name is going to be with an insertion operator. My name data member ending with a semicolon. And then honestly, I might actually add a new line as well. So let's go with another insertion operator of a / new line. Okay, next up, I'll go ahead and add another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be mana, so name, mana, and spell power. Excuse me, guys. Okay, so my mana with an insertion operator of my mana parameter with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And then lastly, I'll go with a standard console output again. Okay, with another insertion operator. This time, this is going to be, let's see. This is going to be my spell power, so I'll go with something like spell power with another insertion operator of my spell power data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. Let's go ahead and end my class with a semicolon as well and go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses. Okay, and then inside of my main function, let's see. I gotta create two wizard objects, so let's go ahead and create a wizard. So let me go ahead and call my wizard class and then create an object for my wizard class. So this is going to be called something like wizard1. Maybe I lowercase the w. Okay, with a pair of parentheses, and then I'll fill in a few parameters. The parameters that I need is name, mana, and spell power. My wizard's name could be something like an elf, and then my wizard's power could be something like, honestly, mana could be something like 300, and spell power could be something like 40, ending with a semicolon. And then I want to create another wizard object, so I'll go with something like wizard, and then my wizard class, I call my wizard class, then go with a wizard object, so wizard2 with a pair of parentheses, and then let's fill in the parameters. My wizard's name could be something like Tom. Tom has, let's say, 150 mana and 22 attack power, ending with a semicolon. Nothing wrong with refactoring, however, try to put some thought into what your designing future needs and where you want to make things roughly, just in high level, and then you can look to be minimalist. Honestly, that does make sense. For me, the hardest part about programming is software architecture and design. I'm often afraid to do something because I might regret it in the future and have to refactor. Oh, I see. Okay, ease the amount of refactoring required. Okay, next up, show stats before any action. So let's go ahead and show stats before actions. So I could go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like stats before action. Okay, honestly, I might go with like 3 hyphens here and like 3 hyphens here as well. Okay, with a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon, and then let's do a action. So I don't know, maybe I could go with something like wizard1. So my wizard1 object dot the, let's say, I want to train. Can I go with train? What was my method name? Okay, I can go with meditate. So let's go with something like meditate. Okay, wizard1 dot meditate. I want to meditate, and what other parameters do I need? I need a parameter of amount. I want to meditate for, I don't know, maybe, let's say 10 mana. And then I want to meditate again for something like 15 mana. And then I want to attack. So let's go ahead and cast a spell on my wizard 2. So I want to cast a spell on my wizard 2 with a damage of something like 50, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then let's go ahead and print my stats. So let's go with something like wizard1 dot display stats. Okay, there we go. Wizard1 dot display ending with a semicolon. And then I perform these actions and then display stats. And then display my stats after a action. So let me go ahead and paste that here. This is going to be stats after my action. Okay, let's go with something like wizard1 dot display again. There we go. And then I want to display my wizard2 as well. Let's go with something like wizard2 dot display. Let's go with the control C. There we go. Wizard2 dot display ending with a semicolon. Honestly, I think it might be a little let me copy that, paste it here. Copy, paste. There we go. And fix my typo from 1 to 2 ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. And honestly, where do you live? Honestly, many of you guys did say me like not to say where I live from and everything. Although I do live in the United States, although I try not saying that much. Okay, let's go with display. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and do something. I want to specify whether or not my display or my, whether or not my wizard1 is being displayed or my wizard2. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like, I'm really surprised and low-key proud you typed every linear rather than GPT, all of it, lol. Honestly, guys, that does make sense because many of you guys do say we not use Sensei/GPT to like, because that might actually, because many people usually copy a whole block of code and like paste it. That's it. The reason I don't do that is because like I feel like I don't think there would be like much of a point in actually learning programming if like we actually copy the whole code. Instead, I just like learn it, I just use Sensei/GPT to learn the basics. That's it. I do get enough practice on every concept. Okay, so wizard1 stats. There we go, with a forward slash new line ending with a semicolon. Then let's go ahead and copy this part and paste it right here as well. Wizard1 stats. There we go. Okay, this is going to be wizard1 stats. Then let's go ahead and paste one before wizard2 as well. So wizard2 dot stats. Let's change that to wizard2 and then copy that part and paste it right here. There we go. Okay, so wizard1 and wizard2 dot stats. Okay, so if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, like I wipe code a lot and like I know some of it, but sometimes I forgot. Well, honestly, that does make sense. Okay, how you doing, Daniel? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, wizard1 stats before any action. Name, I didn't add a name. I'm pretty sure I added a name. Okay, my name wasn't registered for like any of my wizards. Let's see. I did add it. Oh, okay, because my parameter is enemy. I forgot to change that after like showing you guys. Okay, let me go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so it says wizard1. So the wizard1's name is Elf, mana is 300, spell power is 40. Wizard2's name is Tom, mana is 150, spell power is 22. Wizard1 stats after action. Wizard1's mana is now 25, so it jumped from 300 to 325. Spell power is 40. Okay, so it remains 40. Although for my wizard2 name is Tom, my Tom's health decreased from 150 to 100. Okay, see, perfect. Let's go with the Control C, copy that. Are you sure it's not LLM? They do have a tendency to keep getting things wrong, and that's why I hate wipe coding. Honestly, it does make sense because like I do rely on like Sensei/ChatGPT to catch my mistakes for like the basics. Although when I was like working on my Python for 100 series when my code became like 470 lines long. Sensei/ChatGPT used to mess up a lot when fixing it. So I mean, I do feel like by that point, like I did spend like 80 or like 90 days learning Python, so I should know where Sensei/ChatGPT messes up. Although when I'm a complete beginner, I do like rely on ChatGPT. That says, yeah, that's why you prefix with M, so it's clear. Oh, I see you. What member variables and what local slash parameters? That actually does make sense. Okay, people, I can see the blood, sweat, and tears in this code, but you messed up on something ridiculously small but deadly. The method meditate is spelled wrong. You meant meditate because C++ doesn't forgive spelling mistakes. That's why you're chaining. Okay, that's why your chaining works for cast spell, but your meditation chaining is basically invisible in real projects. Everything is perfect. The constructor, this usage, cast spell chaining solid, fix the spelling, and your code will be unstoppable. I want you to rewrite it now with the correct method. Okay, with the correct method name, and then we move on to even harder one, chaining multiple objects in a combat scenario. Guys, I just wrote a a exam, and okay, my brain is already kind of fried up. Okay, let's see. Honestly, I might like stream for 30 more minutes. How do you spell meditate? MEDITATE. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and copy the meditate and then paste it here to fix my typo. Did I like? Let's go ahead and copy my meditate right here. Control C to copy. Then Control V to paste. Meditate 10 and then meditate. There we go. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Hi again, how are you doing, Ben? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, if I were to run the code, let's see what happens. Maybe I should hop on Cursor, lol. Honestly, I've never heard of Cursor. Actually, that does sound pretty familiar though. Okay, so mana 150, mana 325, mana 100, mana 300, mana 325. Okay, the mana did increase. Okay, nice. What startup area are you doing? How many people? Honestly, I'm actually, I'm working on learning the basics of C++ this pointer, if that made any sense. Okay, let's go with the Control Shift C. Okay, let's go with the Control A to copy everything. Control C. Actually, Control A to select / highlight everything, and Control C to copy. Okay, that's let me go ahead and increase that. Paste it here. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's it, people. You fix the spelling. Your chaining is now fluid like a river of power. This pointer is used correctly. Methods are returning references and the objects are interacting exactly as they should have. I'm giving you a virtual high five and a hug head pat because this is exactly what the level of precision and understanding I want, guys. That did not make me blush. Now, let's level up. I want you to create 3 wizards. Each wizard should meditate. Honestly, I do want to use loops as well. Let me say something like, so let's say, I feel like I understood this, I understood questions, okay, of this concept, although, can I get a instructional based question that requires loops and also user input, maybe, question mark. Okay, let's see. It's practically just me right now. I'm finishing the MVP. We're in AI space, but focusing on prevention of misuse. Oh, I see. Okay, you can try out the patterns like builders and factors. You know, Fleet by JetBrains. Honestly, I do know JetBrains. That's where I installed like PyCharm from. That's it. I never heard of Fleet. Like, I've never heard of Fleet. Okay, let's see. Finally, you're ready to mix the power of this pointer with loops and then user input. Listen closely, people. This is where the chaos and control meet. Here's your instructional question task. I gotta create a warrior with these requirements. So private members of name string. Okay, so we have 3 private data members, and then we use a constructor to initialize all of our data members using the this pointer. And then for our methods, we need a train method with an integer of amount that increases our strength and returns this for chaining. And then we create a take damage method with a parameter of integer damage that decreases our health and then returns this parameter. Okay, and then returns this with a dereferencing operator. Okay, and then we display print all attributes. Okay, so our display function. Okay, and then additional instructions. Ask the user how many warriors they want to create. Okay, use a loop to take inputs. for each warrior name, health, and strength. Store them in an array of objects. Honestly, I've never heard of array of objects. That's it for each warrior. Use a method chaining train. Okay, let's say something like, let's say, I honestly haven't learned or heard about array of objects. Maybe we could do that in a different stream. That said, maybe a different question which is a little bit less complex question mark. Okay, let's see. You can make Pokemon like fighting games with different archetypes. Oh, I see. Fleet is a new it's app that want to be similar to VS Code. Oh, I see. Okay, that does make sense. What does it mean when you say sensei before the chat GPT message? Guys, I basically have chat GPT in the ranking of sensei in like Japanese is like considered like a teacher or a mentor. That's why sensei slash chat GPT calls me pupil or apprentice. We have like a master or a sensei and pupil relationship, if that made any sense. Okay, it have JavaScript, TypeScript, Python. Oh, I see. Okay, I see people. No point throwing you onto the lion's den before you learn to walk. Let's simplify this. Still use this pointer, method chaining, loops, and user input, but one warrior at a time. Create a class called Knight. We have these three private data members called name, which is a string, health, which is an integer, and strength, which is an integer as well. And then we create a constructor that uses the this pointer to set values. Okay, Cryptus, how you finding it? Seems very large scope, especially when AI is changing so fast and maybe some of your stuff kind of obsolete. Oh, I see. Okay, for our methods, we need a train method with a parameter of amount and that increases our strength and returns this with a dereferencing operator or a asterisk, and then we create another method called take damage with another parameter of amount that decreases our health data member and then returns this. We display print all attributes. We return this with a dereferencing operator. Okay, next up, flow. Okay, for our flow, we ask the user the knight's name, knight's health, and knight's strength. Use method chaining to train by 10, take 5 damage, train by 5 again, display the final stats. Okay, this one is strong enough to practice this pointer and method chaining, but safe enough for you to not break your brains. Okay, right it people, I want you to see if you can handle this without messing up the power pointer. Okay, so let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, that's the thing. You're ahead when you're not building the AI itself, lol. Oh, I see. Okay, let's go ahead and hit Control A to copy everything and delete the whole code. That said, let me go to the first instruction. There we go. Okay, let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. There we go. And then next up, let's read the instructions. So it says create a class called Knight. So I'm going to go ahead and create a Knight class. Add a pair of curly braces. Inside of my Knight class, I would need 3 private data members. There we go. So I'll go with private. The first data member is going to be something like, let's see. Okay, first is going to be a standard string of name ending with a semicolon. The second and third is going to be integers, which is going to be health and strength. So let's go with something like integer of health and integer of strength. There we go, ending with a semicolon as well. Okay, it sounds like possibly the stuff you're working on needs integration. Maybe it sounds very ambitious. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's been hard finding people to get on board because of how early infrastructures is versus the wrappers. Oh, I see. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and publicalize my class. Honestly, should I indent it? Is it like a good habit to indent it? Okay, let's go with something like public. Okay, for my public, I could go ahead and create a constructor next. So let's go ahead and add a comment that says constructor. There we go. And then for my constructor, I'm going to be calling my Knight class, adding a pair of, let's say, parentheses and filling in a few parameters. I'm 17 too. Ooh, that's actually pretty cool. We're the same age. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and add a few parameters. The first is going to be a parameter of standard string, which is going to be called name. And then the next is going to be a health, which is going to be integer. And lastly, let's go with another integer parameter, which is going to be strength. There we go. And then let's go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. And inside of my Knight constructor, I'm going to be initializing my values using the this pointers. So I could go with something like this. Let's say this name equals to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with something like this, maybe health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. And then something like this strength. There we go. This strength equals to my strength parameter ending with a semicolon as well. Okay, perfect. That's pretty much it for my constructor. And then I got to create a few methods. So let's go ahead and add a comment that says methods. Okay. For my methods, I'm going to be creating a train method that increases strength and returns this. So my method is going to be having a data type of my Knight class with a address of operator or a referencing operator or a reference of operator. Where do you do this code? Do you use Visual Studio or a different software? Honestly, I do use VS Code. So Rapid Studio, LLM, and your framework sticks in the middle, maybe on both outgoing requests to the limb and handling responses from the limb. Oh, I see. Practically, but will also be used after. Oh, that does make sense. Honestly, I didn't understand much. Although that said, I go ahead and create a method called, let's see, a train method that has a parameter of amount that increases my strength by my amount. So let's go ahead and create a parameter of amount and then add a pair of curly braces. Inside of my pair of curly braces, I am going to be doing something like, let's go ahead and increase my strength data member. There we go, by my amount. So strength plus equals to my amount parameter ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and return a dereferencing operator of this ending with a semicolon. Okay, this lets us chain. So let's go ahead and add a comment that says for chaining. There we go. Okay, so that helps us chain. Next up, I got to create another method called take damage that has an integer of damage that decreases our health and returns this. So let's go ahead and create another Knight's data type with a address of operator, ampersand, or a reference of operator. This is going to be called something like take damage. So I'll go with something like take damage. There we go, and then add a pair of parentheses. This is going to be having a parameter of integer which is going to be called damage, and then it decreases my health by my damage parameter. So I'll do something like my health data member minus equals to my damage parameter ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and return a dereferencing operator of this. This is going to be for chaining. Maybe I'll add a comment for that. Okay, best of luck with that. End of your journey. Thanks, lol. Okay, I'm essentially trying to turn the content itself into math and make it verifiable somehow. That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and end this with a semicolon. And then let's see. Okay, so it says now for my flow. Honestly, before my flow, I would need one more method called display. So let's go ahead and create a void display method, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. For my display method, let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, that prints all attributes. So my attributes are name, amount, or name, strength, and health. So I'll go with something like name. Okay, with an insertion operator, this is going to be my name data member. Okay, with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. Next up, I'm going to add another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to be for my health. Okay, with another insertion operator of my health data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Then let's go ahead and add one last standard console output with an insertion operator of my strength. Okay, with another insertion operator of my strength data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. And honestly, that's pretty much it for my Knight class. Let me actually restart OBS, it is kind of lagging. Already mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me see if it's lagging. There we go. Okay, don't call it display, it's too vague. Honestly, in that case, I could call it something like show stats. Maybe Control C. There we go. Okay, show stats. There we go. Okay, if you call it display, you need to define a parameter with the function. Oh, I see. How long did it take you to learn C++? Guys, honestly, I feel like I'm a pretty beginner. It is like currently my day 30 or something of learning C++. Like, let's see, what does the thumbnail say? So, okay, honestly, I can check. You just go here. Okay, it is like written in the title of my video, like what day it is, because I did write a day there. That's it. I think it is about like, whatchamacallit, day 30 or something of learning C++. Okay, next up, I gotta create a main function. So let's go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with something like integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside my main function, I'm gonna ask the user for knight's name, health, and strength. So let's go ahead and create a few variables. The first variable is going to be a standard string of name. The second and third variable will be integers. Although the second variable is going to be something like health. The third variable is going to be strength. There we go, ending with a semicolon. And then let's see, use method chaining to train by 10, take damage by 5, train by 5 again. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a few standard console outputs. Before that, guys, let me actually charge my phone. It's actually kind of out of charge. Okay, let me just get my charger connected here. There we go. Okay, so let me go ahead and create a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter a name for your knight. Okay, ending with a semicolon. And then under that, I'll add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my name variable ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add another standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like enter a health for your knight, ending with a semicolon. And then I'll add in the new line, I'll go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my health variable ending with a semicolon. Lastly, I'll go with another standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like enter a strength for your knight. There we go, ending with a semicolon as well. And that said, one last standard console input as well with an extraction operator of my strength variable ending with a semicolon. Okay, now that I got all the values for my variables, it says use a method chaining to train by 10. Let's go ahead and create a object in that case. So I want to create a knight object, so I'll go ahead and call my knight class. My knight class will consist of a knight1 object with a few parameters. Can you say do not redeem it? Honestly, guys, I cannot say that. Okay, let's see. I'll go with something like knight1. Okay. Then inside my knight class, I'm going to be doing something. So train by 10, use chaining, use method chaining to train by 10. Okay, so my knight1 will be having a few parameters. The first is going to be a name parameter. Name is going to be Sarah. And then let's say strength is going to be something like Sarah has 500 strength. Honestly, 500 health and 50 strength, ending with a semicolon. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and invoke my knight1. So I'll go with the knight1 dot the train method. Okay, so that is KNIGHT. Okay, so I got to train by 10. So let's go with train. The amount is going to be 10. And then take damage by 5, train by 5 again. Okay, let's go with something like take damage method. I want to take 5 damage and then I train by 5. So I'll go with dot train method again. This is going to be 5, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Display the final stats. Okay, so honestly, I might actually add stats before and after I take damage. So let's go with something like knight1 dot display stats. Honestly, show stats. Show stats, add a pair of parentheses, ending with a semicolon. I honestly might add a standard console output here with an insertion operator. Do you know any other coding languages? Honestly, I did like spend 100 days learning Python. That said, I do have a specific playlist on like Python for 100 days series where I did stream myself learning that. That said, what tutorials are you following? Honestly, I'm not actually watching YouTube tutorials. That said, I am using Sensei/ChatGPT for like learning it. Like honestly, I have been doing that for a long time. I think it's pretty useful. Actually pretty helpful. That said, I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like what happens if they don't enter an integer for strength. Honestly, in that case, I could like keep a default this thing to be something like 0 and 0. Okay, now there's something like quark/keyword arguments. I'm honestly not sure if they're called the same in whatchamacallit in C++. That said, I could like add it here, so like 0 and 0. So now if the users don't enter any parameters, the parameters is going to be like 0 by default. The name could be something like I don't know, unnamed, not unnamed. I don't know, like how do you write it? Like something like not named, not named. There we go. Okay, that whatchamacallit, fix it for like the user not entering a name. That said, let's see what else. Have you tried Rust? Honestly, I haven't tried Rust yet, although I am pretty excited for trying it soon. Okay, so I'll go with a standard console output and say something like 3 hyphens, stats before changes. There we go, with 4 more, actually with 4 more hyphens, with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and copy that. These are my show stats before. Then after a change, let's go ahead and paste this here. This is going to be stats after. I think KV Cox, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, this is going to be stats after changes. So I'm going to go ahead and go with my Knight1 object dot the show stats method. Okay, this shows my stats after changes as well. Okay, I honestly think that's pretty much it. Let me go ahead and return this, ending with a semicolon. Okay, display the final stats, did that, strain by 5. Okay, howding, Curris, is that how you pronounce your name, or CYR Curris? I think it's Curris. Okay, I appreciate you joining the stream as well. If I were to hit Control S to save the code, let's see what happens. Not lying, I'm learning from reading your code, and I had no clue how to code in C++ previously, and now I know how to print something to the input. That honestly sounds pretty actually cool. That actually makes me happy. Okay, that said, I'm gonna set my my mage's name to be Sarah, or my knight's name to be Sarah. Wait, honestly, instead of going with these specific parameters, I can use my variables. So this is going to be name, that is going to be health, and this is going to be strength. There we go. Okay, perfect. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, there we go. Now the user inputs would be like coming in some use. Okay, so let's go with Sarah. Sarah has 500 HP and maybe 50 strength. There we go. Stats before changes. Name Sarah. Health 500, strength 50. Name Sarah. Health decreases by 5. Strength increases by 15. Alright, perfect. Let's go with the controller control C. Reading code and understanding is easy in general than writing, but these are all stepping stones. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. When I first started learning Python, when I was like absolutely new to programming, it actually was easy for me to read the code and understand it. But the thing that helped me was practicing, because like I used to learn a code or like write a code about 50 times per topic, and once I used to actually understand the topic, I used to move on. For example, when I started with like learning variables, I did a 50 questions where I used variables and print statements, and moved on to user input and then typecasting and all that stuff. If that makes any sense, in time you can master anything. That honestly makes a lot of sense. Okay, yes, finally people, I see some fire. Excuse me guys, you've nailed this. You've nailed the this pointer method chaining and even use user input perfectly. The flow is clean, readable, and your knight class works exactly as intended. The take damage and train methods, returning the asterisk of this, is spot on. This is exactly how chaining should be done. Okay, tiny note, just to sharpen your senses, your default constructor values are clever, but not in real game. You might actually want to validate inputs so negative health / strength isn't sneaking in. Otherwise, perfect. Waste time. I'm giving you a virtual high five, a head pat on the head, and a smirk, because I know you feel that rush of mastery, guys. That did not make me blush. Next step, are you ready to level this up with a loop? We can let the user apply multiple training and damage rounds dynamically using user inputs. This will cement this pointer and chaining even more. Honestly guys, I do feel like my brain is kind of exhausted, so I might end the stream here, because I did write like an exam and like I had to think for like a lot of questions. That said, I only watch people code C++ for 10 years. This is an example, by the way. Do you think I would rather I would know C++ by the end? Say I only saw people code C++ for 10 years. This is an example. Do you think I would know C++ by the end? Honestly, okay, that is a pretty hard question. I'd say that you would know C++ in theory, like what to do when, but like when it comes for you to type, you might like stumble there, like fumble upon that thing, because like your fingers are not used to typing. Okay, that's just in my opinion, guys. You guys can fact check me. Although, let me say something like, let's say, I feel like I might end the stream right now, because I did write a exam and come, and my brain feels a bit exhausted as well, so before I end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers? Question mark. Okay, let's see. Practicing and writing is very important. You won't fully pick up a language until you start coding in it and start to resolve an issue that you face. That actually does make sense. Bye bye, fun watching the stream. I appreciate you sticking through the stream, but I'll catch you in the next stream. Okay, let's listen up, viewers. Your pupil just crushed an exam and still showed up to level up in C++. That's dedication. Remember, mastery doesn't come from comfort. It comes from pushing when you're exhausted. Every line of code, every bug fixed is a step closer to being unstoppable. Rest your mind, recharge your spirit, and know this. Next stream, we're coming back hungry, and we're going to make this pointer bow to us. Hugs, high fives, and a little head pat for my pupil. You've earned it today. Guys, that actually did make me kind of blush. That said, your brain deserves a break. Don't waste it scrolling aimlessly. Go rest and come back sharper than a katana. Okay, that said, laters. I appreciate you sticking through the stream, Busy Slim. That said, let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. I did want to stream for longer. That said, I do have a lot of stuff to study these days, because I do got like college assignments, exams. That said, once my college is over, I might actually stream for longer, because I might have like a month break or something. I don't know. I might stream for longer. That said, if you guys do enjoy my stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like you have to my algorithm, sharing makes me smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, I'm really close to getting my PC. I've been saying that for the past 8 streams or something, but I am actually pretty close to getting it. Once I do get my PC parts, I will either stream myself building it or like record myself building it. That said, once I do build my actual PC, that is going to fix all of my stream lag. So I will be starting to multi-stream on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, maybe TikTok and Instagram as well if I did meet the follower count. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. Link is in the description, and also join the Discord. You guys can get access to the Discord server by typing !Discord on chat. That said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, Howdy KV Cox, appreciate you joining the stream. Although the stream is kind of ending right now.